Welcome back to the missing link and our brief lesson on the strategy call, which represents sale 2. The strategy call is focused on the options available to solve the prospect's problem. Specifically, you're going to focus on a recommended plan that incorporates your products or services. Note, if you're not convinced that yours is the best solution, you shouldn't even be on this call. Now, if we end the strategy call with the prospect being aware of their options and convinced that the type of solution you provide is the best way to go, it'll be a successful call. Remember that the strategy call is not about positioning your company as the best provider yet. That's sale 3 in the closing call coming up next. Now, up until this point, we've been able to provide you with very specific scripts and formats for your prospecting efforts. The strategy call, though, is by definition very dependent upon the products or services you provide. So I'll provide an example based on our agency business, meeting with a prospective client, but you're going to have to use your own industry expertise and assets to create a compelling structure for your presentations. In general, your strategy call should include an agenda, and in that you're going to recap what's led to this meeting, ask the prospect if there's anything specific they hope to get out of the meeting, do a quick review of current efforts, review goals and targets even if high level, and these will usually include mention of or examples of specific tactics. So you outline options, discuss next steps. Then do a quick review of current efforts. You're committed to acquiring 50 net new customers per month through your website. Because your current focus on Google Ads is generating only 18 net new customers per month, resulting in a 32 customer per month shortfall, we need to establish a plan that will close that gap. Then review goals and targets. Your Google Ad campaigns currently generate 15,000 visitors to your website each month. You're converting 3%, or 450 of those, to leads when they use the Quick Quote tool. Out of those 450, you're converting 4%, or 18, to customers. And because you're spending $37,125 per month on Google Ads, that's a customer acquisition cost of $2,062.50. And we outline options. There are several promising options for closing the gap without increasing your monthly budget. We could move part or all of the Google Ads budget to SEO. We could move part or all of the Google Ads budget to paid social ads. Or we could optimize your website's conversion rate through UX improvements. Organic SEO takes months or years to ramp up, so this won't be a viable solution for your timeline. And based on an industry average CPC of $334, paid social is likely to cost more unless the lead quality is substantially better. That's a long shot. There are 3 primary levers you can pull on your website to add more customers. You can drive more qualified traffic to the site, convert more of that traffic into leads, and/or make more of those leads sales ready for your sales team. Now, most website owners focus on the traffic metric, but the easier factor in your case is likely to be at the conversion stage. Through website conversion optimization, you can add several additional lead magnets to new targeted campaign landing pages. And by having an experienced UX designer craft these pages and flows, running heat map software to analyze how real visitors are interacting with them, and then further optimizing, I estimate that you could increase your visitor to lead conversion rate to around 15%. Let's look at a few scenarios. As you can see in our current scenario column, we currently have a 3% visitor conversion rate. Now, if we go over to the target scenario column, which is what we think is most reasonable, we can hit a 15% visitor conversion rate, and that drops our cost per customer from over $2,000 down to just over $400. I've also created a walkaway scenario, which is kind of a worst case in our view, and a stretch scenario, which is something that we think is possible, but maybe less likely. Do you feel like these numbers accurately reflect your business, your goals, and the shortcomings of the current approach? Do you believe that a solution that would reduce your gross customer acquisition costs by 70 to 85% and beat your sales targets by the end of the year is a strong strategy? Would it make sense for me to come back to you with a proposal to have our team design, implement, and manage a campaign along these lines for you to consider? How about if we book a 20-minute walkthrough at, say, 10 a.m. Friday? Let me send the calendar invite now, and you can confirm that it comes through. Should we include anyone else in this discussion? Note that I've limited my recommendation only to tactics and their universal value. I avoid talking about my business, our qualifications, and our competitive advantages because, again, those things fall under Sale 3 in the next call. As always, be sure to send a follow-up recap email the same business day. When you successfully move an opportunity from a strategy call to a scheduled closing call, be sure to update the associated deals pipeline stage accordingly. And that wraps it up for this lesson. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next lesson to wrap up the program.